Welcome to It's Giving Sus, the podcast where the line between the intriguing and the unsettling is blurred. Every episode, we dive deep into the world of true crime and scandals, bringing you the most suspicious and jaw-dropping stories from around the world. There's so much crazy stuff going on, and we need to talk about all of it. Bizarre happenings, scams, cults, crimes, or controversial figures, we're here to dissect it all. Nothing is off limits. Join us as we unpack and comprehend this episode's story. And remember, if it's giving sus, stay curious and stay skeptical.
Warning. This episode contains discussion of extremely sensitive topics. Please check the show notes for more details before proceeding. We ask that you please take caution when listening. If you or someone you know is in need of resources, please check the episode notes for more information. Thank you for listening.
Welcome back to another episode of It's Giving Sus. I'm your host, Daniera, alongside of Ms. Meg West.
Hello.
I thought you were going to introduce yourself, so I was like, We are gathered here today. Another unfortunate case has yet to be solved. Today is Sunday, around 6 o'clock, I would assume. And there's no update. There's no update on the missing persons case. And we're talking about Riley Strain, who went missing last Friday in Nashville. Nashville? Is it? Oh, yeah. Tennessee. Yes. On Broadway, where all the bars and the nightlife and everything is. There was one update today, though.
Okay.
The credit card was found with his name on it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
We know a little bit, but there's still a lot of theories. And I mean, how does just one, a person in a busy place like that just vanish, right?
With all those cameras?
With everything. So I know that all of the footage is in the hands of the police and they're doing what they're doing. So not everything is public. But every storefront should have cameras. We should be able to put together a timeline and see the whereabouts, plus his Apple Watch, plus his phone records. So I made some notes about the timeline because those are things that we know to be true. And then we can maybe talk about some of the different theories that are going around. I'm obsessed. I can't stop thinking about it. I am trying to remain very optimistic and hopeful in this case. The family is there. They're doing the most that they can, and the community is involved, and everybody is just really trying to find this missing guy. And Jen Soto could never, first off.
Crazy difference between the two interviews is just mind-blowing.
Of the moms,
yes.
Yeah. No questions asked in my mind that this mom is grieving what is going on.
Absolutely.
Ugh, Jen Soto could never.
Never. But go off defending.
Yeah, in the comments.
Yeah, crazy.
Y'all are wild for that.
Fucking wildin'.
Literally wild. I don't even care if you are related or you're not related. Defending negligence is not it for me.
Yeah. And people are just getting tripped up on the little detail. If it was a memorial, not a funeral. Yeah. You know what? I don't give a what it was. She should have been there.
Yeah.
Besides all of that behavior, now we're finding out that Maddie was supposedly SA'd since she was 5.
Right.
There's no way you didn't know. There's no way. And especially finding that out. 8 years? No.
Did you see the most recent TikTok on our page when they were in the swimming pool?
Yes.
And that was the day after. The day after the first reported case in 2019. It was June 19th. Was the abuse on the first subpoena before the 60 charges. It was the first one. That picture was on June 20th, the next day, in the pool.
Having a good old time.
Splashing around. Sickening, disgusting, horrendous. I don't even know. It's sick. It's just sick. She was so small, dude. I mean, she's still so small, but she was so small.
And to know that abuse happened the day before that and how happy she looks in that picture.
And the caption that Jen, because that was from Jen's Instagram, it said, "These two have my whole heart."
Only one of them does, baby girl. Be real with yourself, please.
Crazy. There's so much to talk about Madeline, but I do want to give the time and attention over to Riley's case. Like, I haven't stopped watching stuff about Madeline's case. Like, just like, even as much as I've been trying to focus on Riley, I just can't. It just doesn't make sense in my head, so I can't get over it. People are saying that they know Stephen Stearns loved Tamagotchis. He was like in all the groups talking about it on Reddit. Like he's like a Tamagotchi guy. Cool. That's like whatever. I like different things, you know, that may seem childish and things like that.
Yeah.
No knocking there, but allegedly, gotta say that because all y'all, allegedly, Tamagotchis can communicate with one another. Certain versions.
The newer ones? Or okay.
Who's he talking to? If he is he using the Tamagotchi as a way to communicate with children or with other people secretly?
Interesting. What do you mean you can talk to wait?
Bro, it's
excuse
like,
me?
I know, and I don't have a definite answer for you because it got real nerdy really fast, and I was like, I'm not really understanding what it's saying. I did see that it was maybe only in Japanese, but if you can send a word or two over, you could translate it. Like, there is a way to communicate on a Tamagotchi.
That's insane.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Right.
That's wild.
Right. Like a kid's toy communicating with another is so wild to me.
Okay, so there's this thing that came out. You can like find your friends and you all have a necklace and there's like each person has a different color and the necklace will point you in the direction of where your friend is.
Oh.
And they use like a mesh network. And when there's more of them, they do better and they communicate with each other.
Wow.
And they like feed off each other on the satellites and on the network. So I'm wondering if it's like, I'm wondering if it's something like that.
Yeah. So you can wormhole into that tonight.
Yeah.
But
Crazy.
And I mean, everything's connected, right? Like everything is literally connected to Wi-Fi, connected by Bluetooth. Like, so I don't see how it's not a possibility. I also haven't played a Tamagotchi in probably 20 plus years.
Yeah, like I had the OG one.
I have one. It's still in the case.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I got it this year for a gift. So should we test it out?
Oh my God. Send some messages.
Little text. Dude, that's sneaky as though.
Yeah.
Who would think to look there? No one.
And can you trace that shit?
I think
Is it
everything
traceable?
can
If
be.
it's electronic, it's probably traceable.
It has to go somewhere.
Yeah.
It can't just
into thin air.
It's not a smoke signal.
Right.
But so wild. And I'll bring a little bit of this whole theory and thing going on after we talk about Riley's case, because I think it all is like tying in for me. And my brain is in a completely like different level and perspective of where I was last week of what may be going on. And maybe I'm going off the rails. Like maybe I'm losing my marbles, but from everything that I've seen and heard in the last 7 days, this might be a national thing. This might be a worldwide thing. This might be a lot bigger than anyone imagined. And I'm coming with receipts. I'm not just spewing some shit. And I'm not a conspiracy person. And I'm not one to believe that kind of stuff because it's very like out of this world and drastic. And like the eating of the children and the adrenochrome of it all isn't what I'm talking about here. But there's some organized something going on with people and children around the country, at least, in my opinion.
We know the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. I mean, come on. Like we've already talked about this before. It's not out of the realm of possibility that these things could be happening. People in power, people with money. You can fucking do anything when you have money like that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure these motherfuckers are rich because child trafficking is a very rich circle. There's a reason these people are doing it.
There's a lot of money to be made in it, and
disgusting.
You got to pay to play.
Yeah.
But where people are sex or money, that's motive. That's lucrative.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it feeds into people's sick fucking pleasures.
Yeah.
And fetishes and whatever.
Whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I have this theory that like when you're so rich, like nothing excites you anymore. Yeah, you've done everything, right? So they like, maybe they have this whole situation where it's like, this is so taboo. This is so frowned upon. This is so everything opposite of what I'm supposed to be doing. but that gets them the thrill. I don't fucking know, and I'm not going to try to understand a brain.
Well, tying back in, I think I talked about it last episode too, where I took that the psychology of like serial killers.
Yeah.
It wasn't just serial killers. It was pretty much like almost all crime. But essentially, like how you said, they're bored. They've done everything. They're getting that dopamine from other things. And when you keep doing those things, it goes away.
Yeah. Like an addict.
It's an addictive thing. Your brain needs the dopamine. So they're sitting here trying to find it in other ways.
That's so drastic.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah. But that's
it makes
what
sense.
you go to?
But it makes sense. I mean, it doesn't make sense that you're doing child stuff, but it makes sense that they're finding things that are giving them dopamine rushes and serotonin and things that make them feel good
or powerful or
powerful,
accessible. Yes. I don't know, dude.
It's crazy.
But I'm in a wormhole that's taken me somewhere where I didn't want to go.
I don't want to be here.
I don't want to be here, but I'm so here. And I don't have answers. I'm not at a place where I'm like, okay, my brain understands so I can unpack and like put that down. I'm not in that spot. So what we know about Riley Strain, factual statements, these aren't theories, these aren't he said, she said, this is what we know. For nearly a week, there's been no signs of 22-year-old Riley Strain. He was about to graduate. He's a student at University of Missouri.
Senior then?
Yeah,
22?
Like 2 months in May, he was going to graduate.
Okay.
Yeah. Strain was in Nashville for a fraternity event and was last seen around 10 p.m. Friday, March 8th after being kicked out of Luke Bryan's bar on Broadway. They were staying at the Tempo Hotel downtown. Strain went to Luke's 32 Bridge on Broadway Friday night. And this is like a 3-story situation. There's a rooftop bar, there's dining, and then it looks like there's a flight of stairs inside to go up to the other bars where you have to be 21, but it's more like family friendly and stuff down. So the records from the bar show that Riley purchased 1 drink and 2 waters, or was served 1 drink and 2 waters. Riley's mother, Michelle, said she FaceTimed with him just a few hours before he went missing. At 9:35, Riley was kicked out of the bar. So it's called TC Restaurant Group. And they own, from what I read, they own a lot of the bars in this area. So it should be fairly easy to get the footage. And, you know, they're working with 1 contact instead of 25 random business owners is what I'm envisioning. I could be wrong. Don't quote me. But this is the statement from TC Restaurant Group. The security team made a decision based on our conduct standards to escort him from the venue through our Broadway exit at the front door of our building. He was followed down the stairs with one of his friends, according to the bar. However, his friend reportedly did not exit and went back upstairs. So remember I was talking about like the bar level and you go down the stairs into the restaurant level. So it sounds like the friend, allegedly from the bar, the friend went with him. Riley went out the front door and the friend went back in.
Is there any camera footage from inside of this bar?
Yes. Okay. We haven't seen it yet though, because all the police have it right now. Around 9:45, so that's 10 minutes later, surveillance video from the downtown smoke and vape shop sees Riley stumbling and falling in a parking lot at 3rd Avenue and Church Street, not a church. 9:47, that's 2 minutes later. Surveillance video caught Riley crossing 1st Avenue over to Gay Street. Between 9:55 and 10 p.m., Riley's last phone ping was near James Robertson Parkway and Gay Street. Detectives said the last phone conversation Strain had was with one of his friends and was also during that time period. So he's kicked out at 9:35. Last ping around 9:55 to 10. It's not a lot of time.
No.
So that's already just weird to me. I will say this, he's extremely tall. I've heard different reports too. I've heard he's 6'5", I've heard he's 6'6", and I've heard he's 6'7". So he's tall.
He's tall, yeah.
And in the video, he's
booking.
He is. Like when he was walking with a group of people, he was behind them in the video and then he passed them and then did a turnaround and passed them again. For someone who was drunk or impaired, he's still covering some ground.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, wow, which is interesting.
Yeah.
According to the police, the phone ping covered a 2-mile radius. So that's not really narrowing anything down. It could have been 2 miles anywhere of that, right? Which is, I'm not sure how phone pings and things work, but 2 miles doesn't really narrow a whole bunch down.
That's so crazy to me.
He had an Apple Watch on too.
That definitely has GPS in it.
Another interesting thing about the Apple Watch, it's going to show heart rate. It's going to show the oxygen level. It's going to show
how quick he was walking, how many steps he took. Yeah.
In addition to that, if you fall, if you have a crash,
it automatically calls, right?
Or it at least says,
hey, do you want to call 911?
Or it's in the record, right? That like at this exact time at this place, this is what happened. So they are getting all the information from Apple. They said Apple was very helpful. When I say they, I'm talking about Riley's godfather. I watched an interview with him and he gave some specifics, and that's where I am getting this information from at this time, is what the godfather is saying. Saturday, March 9th, the next day, 1:46 p.m., Riley's friends called 911.
It took them that long? Bro, get some new friends. No one left the bar with him either. His friend let him walk outside like that?
There's a lot of questions.
What the actual fuck?
And they're getting a lot of hate.
Good.
Wait a sec. Pump the brakes.
All right. I'm being a hater.
Hear me out.
Being a hater.
I know it's easy to point fingers, but I'll read this, and it makes a little bit of sense. And we also have to think they're 22. They're guys. They're not going to the bathroom with one another. They're not.
Maybe he thought he was with a girl.
And they may not have even been thinking if they're partying
if they're
and drinking
as well.
And like it could have just been like, holy fuck. And then they wake up the next day after being out. I'm not sure what times the bars close there, but we can assume 2 at a minimum, maybe later. And then after they get back home at the hotel and whatever. Like, you're not waking up till 1 or 2, whatever. I get that. But they are getting a lot of backlash. But they're fucking kids too. They're 22.
True.
But I've heard a couple things. I've heard, allegedly, they kicked Riley out the back door. And the friends try to go around the front door. And it's like a strip on the main street. So there's not like an alley. There's not a sidewalk. You have to walk all the way around the building to get to the other side, to the front door. So that's splitting them up. If that's what happened and the bouncers wouldn't let him go out the back door, then that kind of makes sense why he left by himself. And then his friends, and you saw how fast he was moving. We saw in 20 minutes he got such a distance away, and he was running. So his friends could have gone and looked for him, and it's busy. It's like the Strip in Vegas, right? There's people everywhere. If they are also drinking, like, and what are you going to do? Just run outside? You have a tab. They have your credit card. Like, it's kind of like, it's hard. You can't just like run out just because your friend gets like kicked out. It's like a whole situation. So with that said, and what I've read on Reddit, the bouncers are so suspect. And I have a theory. Let me read the statement that TC Restaurant Group put out.
Okay.
In our effort to help the Nashville Metro Police Department missing persons investigation of Riley Strain, we proactively provided detailed information quickly after his visit to our business on March 8th. This information included all security camera footage, photos of Riley at our establishment with detailed timestamps, transaction records, and staff accounts. Additionally, we proactively engaged in communication with the Tennessee ABC, the Alcohol Beverage Commission, and will continue to communicate and provide any records needed to aid in their ongoing investigation. Because if they overserved him, they're liable.
Because I was going to ask earlier, you said that there's record of him just having 1 drink and 2 waters.
Right.
That he bought, right?
He was only in there for 5 minutes.
I know, but like maybe footage is showing him getting a drink from his friends. Like, we don't know if he had drinks from somebody else.
And how did he look walking into the bar? Was
Exactly.
he acting the same? Because 9's pretty early. But not the earliest, not 9 a.m., but to be that's like 2 p.m. activities. And it's Friday, so I don't know what day they got there, but usually
Fridays start a little later. People have work. People usually are doing stuff during the day.
And they're in school, but unless it's spring break, which I think it is.
And usually if you're looking like that, they won't even let you in.
That was I wanted to bring that up too, because
they won't if you're too fucking intoxicated.
And served him a beer. So the security let him in, checked his ID, said you're good, and then they served him a beer.
They served him, yeah.
So was he that messed up? Because he got in the bar.
Yeah.
And he got served.
Yeah.
So we'll just put a pin in that. But they're also saying that they've been proactive in working with the Alcohol Commission Board. The statement continues, during Riley's visit to Luke's 32 Bridge, our records show he bought it and was served 1 alcoholic drink and 2 waters. At 9:35 p.m., our security team made a decision based on the conduct standards to escort him, and this is where they go on to say, down the stairs with the friend, out the front door, and the friend didn't go outside. Riley Strain is 6'5", slender build, blonde hair, blue eyes. Nashville Police Department are asking for anyone who might have seen him or any information regarding his whereabouts, please call 615-862-8600.
Because you said he walked past that group of people. Like, I remember seeing it. He, like, was behind them. They were in the crosswalk. He goes past them. Like, those are the type of people that you want to be asking because they all looked at him. They were all like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And you can see them all look in his direction on the footage.
Yeah. And he might have even asked for help.
Who knows
or
if he
phone,
said something to them? Exactly.
Or which way is this? Because that could lead us to maybe another place that he left off. Oh, he asked us where the, I don't know, Jimmy John's is. And where it said that, whatever, right? Whoever has had any contact information or anything potentially has a clue.
Yeah.
Even if it's the smallest thing.
Mm-hmm.
I woke up today is Sunday, and I see that they found the debit card. It's from TikTok. It is from the Nobody Left Behind Facebook page, which is really cool. They were live streaming, searching the river embankments, and found it live on stream.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I want you to watch it because it's just
chills.
The chills of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old spots they burn stuff to take them around bring them out like that.
I don't think they do right here, or at least where that guy's tent is, because he's talking about how cold. What? You found his credit card? We found his credit card. We gotta hang up. We gotta hang up the phone.
Oh my god.
I just got chills. That's fucking crazy. Ooh. 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 That's weird. I don't like that.
A good point from her, right? She says this is why it never hurts to look.
Yep. Wow.
The news is putting that out there, and I do see the picture of the card with the name on it. Obviously, the number is blocked out, but it's kind of where we're left.
So I guess we could almost use that as his last location instead of the phone ping.
Well, we could, but that's assuming he took it out of his wallet. That's assuming he has a wallet. That's assuming someone didn't find it, try to use it, throw it out. So it's not really saying a whole lot, but it is saying he was down there or around the area and someone got the wallet and then whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it is confirmation. It is a little bit scary.
Yeah.
I have a friend who was sober and they started drinking again. This was someone that I worked with and an employee of mine. He's drunk and they find his wallet in the middle of the street. And it's just like this, like a main strip with all the bars. Somebody who we knew found his wallet and they called me. What are the odds, first off,
Yeah,
right?
That's crazy.
Yeah. They call me. They're like, I just found this wallet in the middle of the street. And I instantly knew. I was like, that's not good. Like, that means he's not doing well. And we're like calling around, looking around, checking social media, doing all the things because how are you functioning without a wallet? First off, like you need to pay for stuff. You need ID to go to a bar, the whole thing. He was in the hospital, got out the next day. He was fine, but they couldn't identify him there. He didn't have ID on a binge.
Yeah. And if you're fucked up, you're not going to give your name. Sometimes.
Right. Right.
I don't know. If you're incoherent enough.
Up to be hospitalized.
Yeah. How are you going to give factual information about yourself?
Right. So it freaked me out because it's very much the same, right? Like something was very off where this person now doesn't have their debit card with them.
Yeah. If they're going to look into the card now and see if it was used at all, if it was tried
they
to
have
be
been,
used.
Yep, they've been doing the financial statements, and that's how they know that he didn't do like an Uber or a ride share kind of a situation.
Yeah.
That's not to say he didn't take a ride from somebody, though.
Absolutely.
Because people do pull up and say, you need a ride, or I'm Uber, and if you're out of your mind, you're incoherent, or in distress. We don't even know if he was actually messed up. And a lot of people, oh, he was crossfaded, and they're having all these theories. But let's reel it back in. People have a mental crisis sometimes, a reaction to medication, a schizophrenic episode, a panic attack, hallucinations. There's other things that could happen to give someone this sort of drastic, insane, out of their mind.
And alcohol like intensifies those things. And sometimes people don't even know that they have these mental disorders or they have these mental breaks until something like a drink like that.
And an intense situation at
high
a
stress
packed bar.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many things. So for everyone to assume, and this goes to like the stigma of addicts and things like that, for everyone to assume that like he was crossfaded, under the influence, they were doing drugs, or they were even just being hammered, like that doesn't necessarily mean that just because someone is presenting that way. And that also doesn't mean that, oh, he's just silly and he's going to turn up. Like they actually deserve the same amount of care, or even more, if not under the influence of a substance.
Yeah. I mean, from personal experience, when I was roofied, and we had this talk in the car yesterday, I went from 0 to 100 real fucking quick. And then people just, I think my friend even said when we were leaving where I was roofied, it was in Vegas, and I took a drink from only a worker. So we want to put into perspective that some situations like this can happen where workers do roofie people as well.
Mm-hmm.
And my friend just remembered the worker was like, you got to get her out of here. She's too fucked up. I had 2 Bud Lights and a shot.
Not the same worker.
No, not the same worker. But we were like leaving, and he's like, you got to get her out of here. She's too fucked up. And I wasn't fucked up. I was fucking roofied.
Well, you were fucked up.
I was fucked up, but I'm not fucked up in the way that they're thinking that I'm fucked up.
Right. And I think your point was that if people saw you,
they would assume I was
like you were drunk. Obviously.
Yep, obviously.
Yeah. So on that note, our friends Trenton and Alex, we love you guys. They are in Tennessee, and they sent us another article about a very interesting situation that happened at the same bar, Luke Bryan's bar. So I think you have that article if you want to. I haven't read through this. I just saw the headlines, so I'm very interested to know when this happened and what happened. And
so this is from 2023.
Okay.
This says a U.S. Army veteran visiting Nashville says he was drugged and robbed in March at a bar on Broadway. So same street. The man was from Los Angeles and visiting Nashville in March for a work conference. He says that the last thing he remembers was only having 2 drinks at Dirk's. Sorry, this is just reminding me of Ohio.
Yeah, it's taking us
it's
back
very
to
Ohio.
our country days.
Was having 2 drinks at Dirk Bentley's Whiskey Row on Broadway.
Yeah.
When I woke up the next afternoon in my hotel room had been completely gone through and vandalized.
No.
He says that his phone and wallet were gone, and about $5,000 had been stolen from his credit card and bank transfers.
Whoa.
He says that the most frustrating thing is that it took him 2 weeks to get in touch with the Metro Police to file a report. I think I made 4 other attempts to call total while I was there. Every one of them was over an hour wait time before I finally had to go physically and do other things. He says that the only reason he got in touch with the Metro Police is because he posted about the incident on social media and was directly contacted from a detective through an inside contact.
Whoa.
He says it's a major issue that a lot of these cases do not even get reported. A 36-year-old man was charged with R-ing a college student he and another suspect found on Broadway earlier this month. According to the arrest affidavit, the victim told Metro Police she was with a friend at a honky-tonk on Broadway on May 4th. The victim told the officers her memory became foggy around 9 p.m. and believed she was drugged. Her next memory is being in the back of a Jeep Grand Cherokee, which men she didn't recognize. She was reportedly able to recognize the make and model of the vehicle. Metro Police reported that over the next few hours, she was essayed by both men in the Jeep before being driven to an ATM to withdraw around $300 from her account.
They were dumb.
$300? That's all you're... What the... That's worth it to you? That's fuck... I just can't. I just cannot.
And how dumb of criminals, right?
I just cannot. You're not off. Like, there's things that have been happening in Nashville on Broadway. There's more than just those 2 stories.
This one says right here A customer at Luke Bryan's bar claims she was roofied while visiting the Nashville-based establishment.
Okay, that's a different. You didn't send me that one.
Oh my God! So there's more.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, this is like a known thing for Nashville.
Let me click it. It says, I seriously thought I was dying. Woman says she was roofied at Luke Bryan's bar. Never take drinks from people besides the bartenders and watch them. And I don't even know if that's true.
That's what I'm saying, because the only drinks that I took when I was roofied were the 2 beers that I personally went up to the bar. I ordered the shot that I took from the worker, and thank God my friend didn't take the shot, or God fucking knows what would have happened.
Yeah.
The only other drink I took from somebody was a worker with a tray of shots.
Right.
So don't fucking tell me that it's not possible for workers to do it, because honestly, that's in Vegas. That's also not the first time that I've heard about it.
Yes.
And it's also been reported that workers drug people.
Yes. And I told you.
Money for them.
Right. It's this bigger picture. It's the ring. It's the whole, it's a bigger thing than oh, this person is just a bartender.
Roofied. Yeah.
Yeah. They're doing it for fun. No. There's a bigger motive. And I was telling you about the case where the 2 moms were on the cruise, and they stop at one of the destinations. The workers carrying the coconut drinks and the fun drinks. Mm-hmm. They're not big drinkers. They had the gastric bypass surgery, so they can't drink a lot anyways. Their stomachs are small. They get more drunk, right? That's the whole whatever. They do it. They come to in an office building being assaulted. And it was a place on the website of like, this is a destination spot. We're going to stop here. You can either go to the tour, you can go shopping, or you can do a beach day at that specific beach with those specific people who had the shirts on. They freaking worked there.
Guess what? A worker can easily get an extra shirt and hand it to somebody else. A worker can have a friend post it up at these places. Hey, it's Signal. I roofied that one. They take them out. It's really not that fucking hard, and it's really not that out of the realm of possibility that bigger things are happening. Like, I don't truly believe that women get randomly roofied. I think there's always a plan to it, and I think there's always a motive, and I think that there's something, again, bigger going on than randomly just dropping drugs in people's drinks.
Right. And like, how?
Because where's the, not the reward, but where's the incentive,
like,
I guess.
What are you doing it for?
Yeah, like, why are you just going to go randomize?
And how even easy is it to get something like GHB and just carry that around? You get searched at bars. So in my head, it's like, this is saying like, don't trust bartenders or only get a drink from the bartender. Like, only get a bottled drink that is open in front of you, or a can.
Watch the bartender make your drink.
Right.
Watch the bartender make your drink.
And not even that, it could be in the bottle of the alcohol. Like,
yeah,
it's so actually mind-blowing to think about, and it's very scary. Very scary.
Yep.
Even getting a glass of water, try to get bottled if you can, honestly.
Yeah.
Then you're just safer that way.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I know.
shit.
At a Vegas club, I walked up to get water. By the way, a bottle of water at a Vegas club.
Ridiculous.
And guess what size you get?
The little Fijis.
The little motherfucking thing.
Or the Evians, yeah.
$18.
Disgusting.
And they're like, oh, you can have the cup for free? No, bitch. Give me the bottle.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
True.
I'm not playing this fucking game.
True.
I'm not doing it.
Right. Exactly. Dang.
Lessons learned. There's a lot of things you can do now too. They're coming up with like cool like nail polish that you can like stick your finger in your drink, and it'll change colors if there's GHB in it.
Yes.
There's strips that you can just take on the go that you can dunk in your drink. Boom. Roofie or not, you know.
Wow.
They have these.
How sad.
I know. It's fucking sad.
The drink covers.
Yep. They have drink covers you can just plop over, and it's literally just big enough, like a hole for your straw.
Right. But are those like mesh?
No, they're like a rubber.
Oh, okay. So liquid can't go through.
No, liquid cannot go through them. It's like a little condom for the top of your drink. It's so nice.
Why don't we get lids? Have we lids? Plastic cups at bars? What about lids? The spilling of it all?
Yeah. Glass.
Like, how
You're
about
not breaking glass?
How about some lids? What, why?
Money.
They charge us 10 cents for a grocery bag.
Or
just put it on a 5-cent lid tax.
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
And if you don't want the lid, fine. You don't have to have the lid.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to. Oh, God. Okay.
I know.
Let's see what this chick says. Florida-based hairstylist Hallie Elliott claims that she was slipped a date rape drug at a popular Nashville bar owned by a prominent country music star. It writes in a text overlay of her video, "Be safe, girlies. I was just roofied at Luke Bryan's bar." So it's a TikTok. Elliot claimed that upon receiving medical attention, local healthcare professionals said that they've come across more alleged roofie encounters from guests who frequented this particular bar than any other spot in Nashville.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow.
I have the chills. Because I haven't read this. And that's the hospital and the medical staff saying that. That's not he said, she said, or on Reddit. That's the hospital who are testing and saying, yes, this is what happened to you, not somebody who accidentally drinks too much or the elevation's higher or whatever, and they get more effed up than they thought they would be. This is a medical professional saying from specifically that bar, allegedly. That's what they're saying. Whoa. Wow. This establishment that she's referring to is Luke's 32 Bridge, located on 303 Broadway in Nashville, in association with the TC Restaurant Group. They also run FGL House, Jason Aldean's Kitchen and Rooftop Bar, which are also located in Nashville. So, as I said earlier, if this TC grew, so now we have 3 other places. So let's see their footage too. What's easy? Judging from Elliot's TikTok, it seems that folks with nefarious intentions also seek the city as an opportunity to drug and essay those looking for a good time. She adds in her video that she was told by the doctor, it's in quotes, I'm not saying anything weird, quote, told by the doctor, Luke Bryan's bar is the most #1 bar they've had girls my age come in roofied. So people that come in roofied are the most that they've seen are coming from Luke Bryan's bar.
Yeah.
Fucking A, man. Like, ugh. According to Nashville, the honky-tonk town has a serious roofie problem. These cases are difficult to prove and furthermore prosecute. This is because individuals will probably not be able to secure footage or receive reliable eyewitness testimonies that someone was trying to spike their drink. That may be what we are saying now. Like, why won't those people talk? The ones that were walking by him. And we're not the police have the footage from the bar. But if it wasn't such a high profile case, like this is a missing person, this isn't someone who went out and were roofied and everyone thinks they just got too messed up. So I could see where the cops aren't taking that as seriously and getting the footage from the bar as Riley's case. We're like, we have a missing person. Like, he's not from here. He didn't go out and drink too much, where they're like actually being active and getting the information. Where if someone is, got a little too tipsy or whatever they're saying, but if they were roofied, they may not even try to mess with that. Because let's think about how much money these bars and TC Restaurant Group is bringing into Nashville. A story was highlighted from a fiddle player in Nashville who lost 2 hours of memory after reportedly being drugged by someone. She suspects they were hoping to steal her equipment and her tip money. Thankfully, an employee of the bar assured her that she was brought home safely and that her belongings were looked after as the crowd gathered around her when she collapsed from the effects of the drug. Whoa. Commenters on the TikTok video of this girl's experience, the original girl, not the fiddle player, state that they have had similar experiences while partying in Nashville. One person said that she was roofied while she was out with her husband and suspected that it was an employee of the spot they were at. This happened to me in Nashville.
I'm telling you.
Another quote. This happened to me in Nashville and my husband was with me. Definitely think it was the bartender.
I know. Crazy.
Another person responded to Elliot's video and said that while she was throwing a bachelorette celebration in Nashville, both her and her bridesmaids were all roofied.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
So, with that point being said, if a whole bachelorette party got roofied, there's no way that some random guy is just walking around, just popping. There's no way. There's no way. Like, it has to be the bartender.
So let's say a bachelorette party, anywhere from 4 to 10. Well, for fuck's sake, numbers, right?
You got to hunt down 4 of those people, drop
And
something in
not
each of their
be
drinks,
seen
not be seen
by any of the others. And
if they're all hitting around the same time, like all the effects are
Yep.
hitting them all the same time,
That's
it
what I
had
was
to be
gonna say.
dropped at the same time.
That's what I was going to say. And we don't know that part, but people drink different amounts. I have a group of girls. There's the big drinker. There's someone who doesn't drink. There's someone who's sober. There's different levels of how messed up people are going to get depending on their personal preference. Some people don't like to get completely to that level. Some people just have one. One person's a DD. It doesn't matter, right? And different body weights, how much they ate in that day, how their tolerance is in general. All of those factors come into play. So when every single person had the same experience, I'm a little freaked out. I've been on Reddit. I have seen, even within the past 3 months before Riley's case, people saying that happened to them in Nashville. I was robbed. I was roofied. Just hundreds of comments. Men, women, people with their husbands or wife or partner. They're not really stopping. I've also seen that on Reddit that people are saying the bar staff is extremely aggressive. They're shady and so many more allegations, and it's everywhere on Reddit. And this was before Riley's case. So it's not people just saying this and that to chime in their 2 cents. Like, this is clearly a freaking issue. Like, what is going on? So to bring us back to the bigger picture of this and some of the theories that are going around, what the hell is happening in the world, honestly? Mm-hmm. There's been talks of rings, trafficking rings, that doesn't discriminate against age or sex. There's also the smiley face killer. Have you heard anything about that?
I don't think so.
I think you have, but I don't think
I'm
know
just
it
like
by
putting
that
it
name.
together. Yeah.
Do you remember earlier last year when there was people in Austin, men who are popping up in the water, deceased after the bar?
Yes.
Do you remember the Brooklyn Mirage?
Yes.
They're all men. They're all found in bodies of water.
Mm-hmm.
They're all around the same age group. And from what I've seen, a lot of them are in finance industry of some sort.
The Brooklyn Mirage stuff, people were pretending to be Ubers on that one, right?
He was found in the water outside the venue.
Yeah, but didn't they also have a problem with the Uber situation where
Yes, people were coming up and but that gets a little blurry because then we had that weird guy who was the TikToker who was like, I work for the FBI. Or do you remember that?
Yeah.
And the FBI came to my house and he like actually like didn't have anything to do with anything. He was just lying to promote his like tech startup thing.
Yeah.
And the fucking Nick did a fucking FaceTime call with him to get the story out because Nico used to have like 250,000 followers.
He still does.
No, his account got banned. But anyways, sucks to suck. But remember when I was like, I'm with the FBI and I had my Pringle thing?
Yeah.
That was in regards to that fake dude. And he was the one reporting about that a little bit, the Austin thing, and then other cities. And then said the story of someone was coming up to him and they were saying we're Uber. So I don't know where the line is between his fake stories and real stories. Okay. But what I do know is men in this specific demographic and size and all these things in common are winding up in bodies of water, deceased.
And we know that killers don't stay in the same area once they get too noticed.
I think it's bigger. I think it's bigger than that. I think this has to be something bigger because the information I looked up and watched last night, which could or could not be true, but from what I watched, this was years ago. This isn't just these 3 cases that we're talking about right now. This has been going on. What is the motive? Why? What is going on? If there are these killers and they're putting the bodies in the water and that this and this and this, or is it all a drowning? But they're putting smiley faces in spray paint to mark their thing. You know how killers do that sometimes?
Yeah. They have a signature.
So more to be revealed there, but I'm just like, what are the odds? What are the odds? And what is the bigger picture and what is the motive? With that theory, we don't know if Riley's in the water. We don't know if Riley is deceased. What is your thought? What do you think happened? Like, what's a possibility in your mind?
So his behavior and the way he was like walking doesn't speak roofie to me though. Like, because when you're like drugged, like you can't even stand up. You're very heavy, right? You're very like slumped. Like it's
usually you're getting
it's a
carried
down
out.
it's a downer.
Your like arms are around your
Yeah,
friends,
you can't
kind of a thing.
You're slumped. Like,
Okay.
let's be real.
Okay.
And I just don't think the way that he was acting was like a downer.
Okay.
He was like running.
He's also so tall.
And he also fell. So I don't know. When he fell, did he get a concussion? Did he hit his head? Did that aggravate something even more? You know? And
But something happened in the bar where he was acting a certain way according to their protocol for them to kick him out. So, and then it was intensified by maybe the concussion. Right. So many different things.
And I want to know what the way he was acting constituted them kicking him out. Like, I want to know what his actions were in that bar for that security team to do that.
Right.
If they haven't said what he was doing,
no,
there's no footage from inside yet because the police are going through it.
Correct.
I want to know how he was acting in that bar because I think that's going to tell a lot of the story. How he walked in and how he progressively started acting in those 10 fucking minutes.
Right, in the short time that he was there. And the family said he's not aggressive. He's not one to have a confrontation. He's like the golden retriever aspect of it, right? Like he's not like that. And then to be with 10 guys at the same time, like if there's a fight or a confrontation,
why'd only one get kicked out if they were?
It's just not making sense, is it?
No. Maybe he only did have one drink, but he had a reaction. Maybe he's on some sort of medication. Maybe he had a mental break and the alcohol, like I said, just intensified that. He's stumbling and he seems a little off, but like he's coherent enough to leave the bar. He's coherent enough to walk as far as he walked.
Without ending up in a bush.
Without falling.
Sitting on a bench.
Sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Weird.
Made a phone call.
Coherent enough to made a phone call. But the one girl who got roofied said she was able to call her friend. I personally there was no fucking way that I could have done anything.
Yeah.
I was completely incapacitated.
Whoa. That's so scary.
Yeah. But again, drugs affect people differently.
Right. There's so many factors.
So he could have been roofied. Maybe he didn't finish the drink.
Because he got kicked out?
So maybe he drank like half of it?
Maybe it, there was not like the same amount. Maybe they put less. But you're saying from the way he was acting, he's not presenting as someone who was wasted or...
maybe not roofied. Because like I said, I just feel like you're just like, you're incapacitated. You can't really do much for yourself. You really can't. I had to be carried down to the car to leave.
People get medical treatment.
Yeah.
Because their friends are like, holy shit, like,
my friend did not do that.
Right.
But because they thought I was wasted. She thought I had more drinks somehow. I was like, and then I told her the next day, I was like, dude, I did not. I promise you. I had.
And people think you're lying.
And people think I'm fucking lying.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think his behavior, it looks more of like panic to me.
Oh.
I don't know what you would be panicking about. Again, mental break. Maybe he did get into a fight with his friends and he was freaking out.
Oh. And if he got jumped by the bouncers, because I think that's a possibility. I think the bar is not being honest. I think that their wording with we are being very proactive in this, and that. How are you being proactive? That's not proactive. You're reacting after something happened. You're not being proactive at all, actually.
Yeah.
Proactive in giving people the evidence as you should. But are you giving them what you want to give them because you're being proactive? Anyways, it just has me sussed out. Plus all these other stories that we're hearing from that bar specifically and Nashville in general, I'm just sussed out. Then we hear that the bouncers are aggressive.
Aggressive how? Do you know? Like,
with being overly bouncer.
Okay. Power trip.
Thank you.
You're just a fucking bouncer at a club.
And guess
You're
what?
not a cop. You're not
exactly.
armed. Like,
exactly.
You need to fucking chill.
And they're paid minimum wage. So wouldn't it make sense for them to have some side hustle of some messed up stuff for these tourists who are going to black out, not remember who they are. They don't live there. Get their wallet, do whatever, bye. They're never going to see him again. Very lucrative.
The workers drug the people. The bouncers kick them out and take their shit.
It could be all connected, right? And there could be their friends waiting outside in a car.
Who are the ones robbing people outside?
It could be all connected. We don't know. But I don't like the vibe of the bar. It's giving me not good vibes and bad reviews, clearly. 0 stars on Yelp. And if they kicked him out.
Wait, you're saying 0 stars or it has 0 stars?
I'm saying 0.
It's like, damn,
I did check Yelp, though.
Oh, those mother.
I think they have like 3 or 4.
Oh,
it's Luke Bryan dick riders, in my opinion. But anyways, if those bartenders kicked Riley out the back door, which is what we were told, and that's what it looks like in the video where he's running and hits the sign, it looks like he's coming from behind the buildings or like whatever. That's it, whatever. If they did that, he's separated from his friend, they could have jumped him. They'd be like that. They'd be extra aggro for no reason. And if he was aloof like he was, they'd be like, oh, you're fighting me or whatever. They want to steal his wallet. They want to steal this rich kid from this and that out of town. They jump him. That's why he's running. He trips and falls. He gets his thing.
Because he's already
hit.
Disoriented.
Yeah. I don't know. The bar is not sitting right with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I need an answer because none of that on Reddit, on Yelp, on these reports we just read are making sense to me. Because that can't happen every single time, every weekend. It's not a tourist coming in and doing it. It's somebody in there who's at that bar every weekend or frequently enough.
And they can tell who out of town people are.
Yeah.
It's so easy.
Absolutely. They check their IDs at the door.
They check their IDs.
Oh, you're from Missouri? Great. Have a seat over there.
And that's the other thing, too. Like, I feel like he wouldn't have gotten in that bar if they have this code of conduct or whatever. If he was truly fucked up before he got there to the point where he was stumbling like he was when he left.
Yeah.
Bars won't let you in.
Right. And remember we talked about the layout and how the restaurant is on the ground level and then you have to be 21 to go up. So they might have even checked his ID twice. They might have checked it at the bar again.
For the drink.
They do that sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Or they'll give you a little stamp or whatever. So you're telling me all of these steps plus 10 friends that were with him didn't say, hey, Riley, you're a little bit too out of it. Maybe we should take you back to the hotel. That's what you're telling me? I don't think so. And none of the other friends were that fucked up? Because usually when there's one, there's another. Let's be real.
He was just getting wild by himself? Absolutely
not with a bunch of frat bros.
Absolutely not.
Not with a bunch of frat bros. No way. No fucking way.
There had to be at least 1 or 2
at least another one on that level.
And we'll consider in different body weights how much they ate, how much they normally drink. We'll consider all of that. But in a group,
it's not just
usually
one
it's not just one, just who's sloshed. Like it's more than that. Unless this was a hazing thing. But he's a fucking senior. I just have the intrusive thoughts. I'm talking to myself at this point.
There's been 2 weekends since it happened. All that traffic, all that foot traffic.
Today's St. Patrick's Day.
Today's St. Patrick's Day. I don't know. I feel like there's not a whole lot of places that you could just vanish to. And to me, it's just so crazy that in this like day and age we have like I said, the Apple Watches, air tags, your phone,
Find
cameras,
my friends, Snapchat,
cameras on everything, that people just vanish.
Yeah. Not even a sock, not even a shoe. You're telling me he was that messed up that he's running around stumbling, his shoe doesn't fall off? My shoe falls off. I'm sober and I'm walking up a stair. I eat shit. Not a single
And
nothing.
Just the credit card, not his ID, not a wallet, not any other personal belongings.
And if other people had been searching that area, because we're on day 9 or day 8. No, 9.
9.
And it's there now? Did somebody plant that there? Like the bar? Just saying. Just a theory. Allegedly, my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
With that, you already know it's 5 out of 5.
Absolutely.
There's not even a question in my mind that anything is normal about this situation. People just don't vanish.
Like I said, with everything we have now, there's no fucking way that you just without a trace, without anything. Crazy.
With that, thank you so much to all of our new subscribers. I can't believe we broke 200. That seems so small, but it's so big.
I know.
Like, it's so freaking awesome. And everybody who saw our videos on TikTok, we had a little viral moment. Thank you for coming over and supporting. New episodes every Monday. If you are seeing this and you haven't subscribed, hit the button. We'll be here every Monday in our orange chairs.
These chickens are just going to be in their coop every Monday. And
Chickens in the coop.
Chickens in the coop.
Yeah, I know. It's too much. You either love it or you hate it, but we're being honest. Like, that's all I know what to say. So thanks for being here. And until next time, stay curious and stay skeptical.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.